Yes, here we are. Here we are. Unravel sessions, bringing forth a new transmission. And I'm excited to be here with you, Luna. One of many conversations to come. And so many that we've had and so much play that we've had. I'm excited that we're finally grounding in to record what has come up in our journeys within Unravel together. How you doing? How you feeling?
It's quite a surreal moment to be able to be here with you in this now because my Unravel journey has felt like such a roller coaster. It's literally there's no concept of time or space in the work that we're doing, in the play that we're doing, in the reflection that we're doing, that it just feels really powerful to be able to reflect and open it up almost like this present, this gift. It's opening us being here right now.
Mm, mm.
Feels really good in my
Yeah,
body.
yeah. Fun, fun.
Yeah.
Beyond time, beyond space, all the different chapters. Ooh, this feeling good that's in your body, it could be great to just have some back and forth of some unravel vocal expression. Just kind of open up the space with some come as you are connection and see where we go from there.
Yes, please.
We're having a
Cool.
moment to feel into our bodies and see what feelings are there, see what excitement, see what nervousness, see what play, see what seriousness, and give it an access point through feelings. And I'll start and I'll pass it to you, Luna. We'll go back and forth.
Okay. Ha 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 hey ha ho ha hey ha hey ha hey how how choo oh
Letting myself find more of the creative pulse with you. Show. Breathe.
yeah hey oh ha 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 filling up my own cup. Oh, yeah. Ha. Ha, 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 ha.
Yo. Guyamo. And from this place of creative exploration, what is Unravel? What is Unravel?
Unravel is to release the grip on every single comfort zone, masked identity, belief system that may or may not be a little outdated, ready to move, ready to be set free through the body, through the voice, through the sacral, through the expression.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about this outdatedness. When something is outdated, how do we recognize that it's outdated? How do we bring attention to a limitation that has run its course? And I love that you brought that in. It's like, oh yeah, what grips have we been really holding on to that was great when it started, maybe, possibly, and it's just outdated, and it's just this festering, calcified lump that wants to be seen again, that wants to be witnessed again, that wants to be welcomed again, so that can give us more colors for our creative lives. It's been fun exploring that with you.
It really has been the journey of a lifetime to let myself explore that within my body, within myself, and to feel like I'm doing it alongside you. I'm doing it alongside you and the community of Unravel. There's no pedestal. There's no hierarchy, really. In my experience, it's let's all walk ourselves home together. And let's do it in our fullest of sovereignty. And it feels tight in the body when it's ready to be released. At least in my experience. Discomfort is a word I would typically use to describe when something is ready to shift within, when something's outdated, but it's slightly different than discomfort because I also believe the growth and the embodiment of wholeness is also quite uncomfortable when we're dancing in it and exploring in it for the first time. But the tightness that is felt when I regurgitate belief systems and identities and habits that do not serve me, they don't feel good in my body, they don't feel good in my purpose, in my being. Slightly different sensations.
Yeah, yeah. So fun to think about these discomforts and these tight moments as a flag that says, hey, there's something there. There's an energy that wants to move. There's a message that wants to be opened. There's a gift that wants to be unraveled. And to reformat, repattern, reclaim these moments. Because we're coming from a landscape of don't show your discomfort, don't use it, it's not beautiful, it's not pretty, it's not welcomed. That feeling is not for mass consumption, it's not even for private consumption. And the work that we're doing in Unravel is bringing those things back online. Not only that, but like you said, that we're doing it together. So there's something about creating a field where noticing where those parts of our bodies are can be found even easier. Because when other people are feeling or looking or seeking in the same way, or expressing the truth of their hearts, then our knots are more easier to pinpoint and use for expression and create. So there's something really juicy to not only understanding that, but being with others, being with you, being with people that are all, that could either, that's excited to express and excited to get creative and wild and play with those parts, but also can hold space when it's happening in the room, which is what I'm excited to talk to you about, like what it means to actually create the right space for these not only fun, playful, creative moments, but also the difficult, the hard, the grip, the tightness, creating space for that to be felt and seen in a way that, in a way that feels good, in a way that works. Because it doesn't always need to be so heavy. This idea of shadow work is so heavy. We got to do this shadow work. There's an aspect of play there. There's an aspect of camaraderie. There's an aspect of nourishment. And I know you bring in a lot of science around the aftercare side too, which I'm really excited to tap into and understand more of.
Let's do it.
There's this energy of gate of decrease that I feel like we could just jump right into. This energy of decrease and how that connects with everything that we just shared.
Yeah. Yeah, Shri, there's so much there with what you shared. Something that I want to note and unravel that I appreciate the most is that we're removing the polarization of good and bad, right and wrong, light and dark. And there's this entirely different approach that is so integral. It's so neutral, with the fullest permission to dive into extremities of both directions. And decrease is so all up in there. And the fantasy of decrease, it's so loud. My mind fantasizes about good possibilities and all the magic, and it also fantasizes about the worst case scenario, like the most horrible, depressive things. And lately, I've been exploring what it feels like to just take a step back and to observe both possibilities and both fantasies, as polarized and extreme and opposite as they are, and to somehow create space for both of them to exist through my creative process. It's the only way that both of them can exist, and I'm not giving the driver's seat quite yet to either one.
Yeah, you touched on some really juicy pieces there. The ability to pull something apart, which is at the core of Unravel, to be able to identify that the decrease is happening and then question it. Is that true? I feel like there's some opportunity for us to play with some examples, some like real life, real world, get under the surface examples of decrease. And even saying that out loud, I'm like, oh my God, we're going to say something that is decreasing. Don't show them, don't say it out loud. You know, I can feel that creeping up in the background, and the struggle is real. The struggle is real. I'll add that this concept of decrease is highly informed or given life through the system of gene keys, human design, I Ching, gate 41, which is the gate of decrease. And this gate is currently in Pluto, the planet of birth and death, the planet of deep change, going into the core of your ancestry and lineage and your genetics and killing off what is old and making space for the new. which is the energy of Pluto. And gate 41 is in the energy of Pluto right now, given a little geeky human design information. And in this gate of decrease, it says in human design, decrease in service to maximizing potential. That we're experiencing this decrease in service to maximizing potential. And we can not only see, like you're saying, the cycles of thoughts, of fantasy that happens in our own bodies, but also we can look out on the world and see so much decrease happening, and how our leaders are running things, and how the cost of life is going up in so many different places. And the disparity between those that are rich and those that have nothing is widening so much. There's so much decrease that we can see out in the world, and different wars and things, and the decrease of society is being really apparent right now. And how do we deal with that? What do we do with that information? It's very jarring, and it's very overwhelming, and it can be very heavy to take it in. Especially when you look at the feed and you see, I just looked at my feed today and I saw a little kid running in the Gaza Strip. And you get Instagram shooting these videos at you of, God, decrease, look at this decrease happening over here. And it makes you want to do something about it. What do we do about it? That's the question. What's the correct pathway? Because even those videos that we see of decrease can be doctored, can be created and produced from AI or faked. What do we do with this feeling of decrease? What do we do when we see it? What do we do when we feel it? And this is one of the most important things that we've been on the adventure of within Unravel.
And it's quite life-saving, if I may add, even if it sounds a little dramatic. Like, to be speaking about this is life reviving, because the decreased frequency that I notice in my experience, even when I observe collective communities, TikToks, Instagrams, and these videos in the media, there's this frequency of hopelessness, that once hopelessness is kind of jolted into the mind, into the psyche, and into that fantasy of decrease, for me, it removes the desire or need to keep going, to even get up out of bed. And I've witnessed a lot of that level of just mental health decline in a lot of my communities and friends who have ended their lives early and have chosen to leave this earth because of the hopelessness that is connected to that decrease. And as you're sharing and raising awareness around how we paint with this, what do we do with this? It's in our hands, it's in our ears, it's in our eyes, it's everywhere. Now what?
Yeah. Yes. Now what?
Yeah.
I love that as the access point to what do we do? What do we do inside of Unravel? How do we treat this energy of decrease? Knowing that there's a gift there to unravel. There's a gift inside of it that we can find. But like you said, when we don't go into it, when we don't see the gift within it, it turns into hopelessness. It turns into these different features that zaps us of our life force, zaps us of our energy and our desire to be here on the planet. But if it's really this juicy, potent vessel that's just waiting to be cracked open, how do we approach it? How do we crack it open? How do we become aware of it and then get the milk, get the juice that's inside of it?
Well,
how have you experienced that in Unravel?
I will say you have had a very predominant role in my life when it comes to shifting how I work with the decrease and that fantasy as a whole, because you helped me just simply shine light on the awareness of what's potentially happening in my inner world. So the things that prior to that moment I had thought, I'm losing my mind, what's wrong with me, I'm going crazy. Unravel is a safe space to bring these things. It might take a minute. It definitely didn't immediately come out. These are such deeply rooted beliefs of I have to do this alone, or this is deeply embarrassing for me to share this level of darkness that exists in my being, in my inner world, in my own belief system, and really feeling a lot of shame connected to that. There's such extremes, like opposites right now with like being kind of obsessed and addicted to the wounding. Shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. Like there's this
Yeah.
potential addiction to the wounding that I find that I have to be very aware of within myself. I'm also a Scorpio. I'm also like, yeah, open emotional center. Like, let's just go to the darks. Like, let's go there. And I'm typically one to go there first to like lead the way. Let's do this. But then I have to remind myself to be able to also come back to my wholeness, to my love, to my light. But that has such an oversaturated term to it because it's being thrown around so lightly. So unravel in that space that we set aside every week. It's this taboo gray space because it's white and it's
Mm.
black. It's this gray area to start to bring these things that we had trapped and kind of kept locked in our psyche and our subconscious and our inner world, and just start to allow that to be seen and unravel it piece by piece, layer by layer, and just see what happens.
Mm. What does it mean to let it be seen?
To get it from my head out through my voice to be witnessed by another. That period, like as simple as that sounds, because I can be doing all this work in my head and having these thoughts and these processes, but until I was actually ready to vulnerably let myself be seen, that true intimacy into me see these parts of me that feel very ugly, that feel very hurt
Mm.
and wounded, that alone shifts everything. It shifted everything for me in Unravel. Oh, wait, this group of people doesn't care if I'm not a civil person and I'm not using my leadership skills that I learned in my leadership trainings, that I have to be about what I say and my word is my bond and all these military tactics of personal development that can get so trapped and locked in my nervous system that are, while supportive in some ways, still telling me that I have to show up a specific way in order to be
Yeah.
seen as authentic.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That journey of imitation and being able to spot when you're being yourself or when you're trying to be someone else. It's even in Unravel, even in the circle, we can see that although we know, there's still the energy of do it like how I'm doing it, or let me do it like how you're doing it, and learning how to navigate being ourselves and letting somebody else be themselves. There's something about what you said about being the teacher, being the coach, or being the one that has these particular ways of healing or teaching. And the contrast to Unravel, which is be in your decrease. Don't move. Don't leave it so soon. We don't need to fix you so quickly. Use that energy, that hard emotional content, or the juicy emotional content. But in this case, we're talking about something that doesn't feel good. Use it as energy for your body to express. And that in itself creates the healing. And our ability to create enough space and to create enough witnessing, that unified field of witnessing, creates a juicy, really, it adds lubrication to the grips and to the tight joints for that muck to find its way all the way out, you know. And I love that distinction. How do we break free from these hard emotions? How do we break free from the decrease loop? Is by visiting the decrease, using it as art so that it can be satisfied enough, so that it can be felt and seen and dissipate or become what it actually is. And so there's that space that you spoke about, which is not getting caught spiraling in shadow work. Shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. But we do shadow work so that we can have space to affirm who we are, to affirm who we actually are. And I love this kind of fine tuning or this, it feels very subtle. And we can see when new people come into Unravel, we just had an experience of that. When new people come into Unravel, it's a subtle experience that not everybody has so immediately, but it becomes something that it's almost like a psychedelic experience for it to come to in your body. Like, oh, I don't actually need to work so hard. I actually don't need to force someone out of where they are. I actually don't need to even use so many words or my intellect or point at my watch. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Are you still over there in that space? There's something really juicy to the subtleties here that feels really fun that we've been playing with.
Yeah, very much so. And you also helped me feel the potency of simply witnessing and awareness. That, if I recommend, what do I bring to Unravel? Like, if someone new were to say, I'm coming to try Unravel, Shri, and like, what should I bring? I would say your ability to witness and be witnessed, and a heightened awareness of what's happening. By heightened awareness, can you zoom back just enough so that whatever might come up and happen in the body, in the process, in the experience, whether it's a trigger, a moment of resentment, a little jab in the heart, can I witness it and have awareness of it from a broader perspective of, oh, this reflection that someone that maybe I don't even know is giving me, whether it's someone new in Unravel, someone who's been in Unravel, we're constantly reflecting to each other. Can I see that reflection as an invitation to meet it where it's at? Because so long as that awareness and that heightened awareness is there, and the witnessing and being witnessed, and just the openness and curiosity, without right or wrong or fixing, maybe you don't even want to be fixed. It's okay, because
Yeah,
in the Unravel
huge.
space, like there is no outcome necessarily. It's the journey. Unravel is a space to be in the journey and to do it together, because we're not meant to do it alone. There's certain
Here,
things
here.
that, yes, we must face alone, but there's power in numbers, and being able to come together, especially in these times, to do this work it's life-changing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the beauty of being together, which heightens our capacity of this understanding so that we can go off separately and be more activated in this truth
Thank you.
without always the reliance,
Spot on.
What, there's something, let's give a real life example. I'm thinking about two scenarios. I'm thinking about, right now we're doing this 21-day devotional where we're spending 5 minutes every day being in our Unravel practice. And I just asked everybody to take their camera and let yourself be seen in your Unravel. And there's something so edgy about that. Being seen in your decrease, being seen in the rawness of your expression. And so, I love doing this. This is something that I've experienced many times, but taking the tripod out and putting it in the middle of a place where there's a bunch of people and just being in your unravel while people are walking by like, what is going on with this person? And all the things that come up in my body, the resistance to even hit the button, the taking up space amongst other spaces, the thoughts that go through my head of, oh, if I make this noise that's true, someone's gonna come over and be like, hey, can you stop that? Someone's gonna come and take my phone because they're just like, okay, enough of that. Someone's not gonna like how my voice sounds because the truth of that feeling is like, someone's not gonna like the truth of that voice. Someone is gonna love my sound. And they're gonna come over and there's gonna be a bunch of people over and it's gonna freak me out. All the things of decrease where the mind goes. How does one deal with that? How does one be with that and be an expression is the question when those moments of decrease come up.
Can I
What
share
would you say?
what I've been doing? It
Yes.
sounds very, very base foundation, and it's one sentence that I've been exploring with. But when I feel the decrease coming from all of the things you say, because I am 1000% a recovering people pleaser, like this has been the work of wanting to be liked. Genuinely, there's a little girl on the inside of my being that just wants to be friends with everyone, genuinely. And finally, through Unravel, picking off the shade and the shame around this version of myself and learning to hear her and understand her and dance with her. When she comes up and she's afraid that she's not going to be liked when something's going to happen when she expresses herself, do it anyways. I want to get that tattooed somewhere on me. I have it on my mirror sometimes. Do it anyways. Because what that's doing in my mind, in my rewiring, it's allowing me to have the sensation of the decrease. I'm not having to fight it off. I'm no longer having to battle it or, it's a demon that I'm now like tossing and turning with and creating so much separation. And again, added polarization through simply hating that the decrease is here. Do it anyways. For me, like Nike Just Do It is like my own take on just allow the decrease to exist and still do the thing. Still press play on the recorder. Still stand in the middle of the airport and do your Unravel practice, because that's what happened even in my travels recently a few weeks ago. Like doing Unravel in the airport at a gate with everyone, they could be looking at me like, whoa, she's psychotic. And there's this releasing when I just allow myself to just do it anyways, afraid. Do it terrified. Do it, just do it anyways. And that has been really, really an interesting game to play in my practice. And I'm still in it. I'm still doing it, trying it every day. And it's hard. It's hard some days. But I'm still doing it anyways.
Do it anyways. Doing it anyways. So good. Definitely we got to make stickers. That's to just say that. Like Unravel, do it anyway.
3 words. 3 words.
Yeah. Well, there's something within the subtleties of this do it anyways. What is the it for you? And also, especially when it feels sensitive, like you said, you're in the airport. I'm going to do my Unravel practice. I'm going to go into creative expression and feel the truth of my being right here, right now. And then I feel like, oh my God, someone might be watching. What do you do with that feeling? And how do you do it anyways when your whole body is screaming to run, to close, to shut down? What do you do with that intensity?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question to ponder on, especially since there's so many different types of people and there's different types of things and ways to go about that. And I can speak just for myself that I really lean into a lot of parts work. And through the lens of a creator, I move through my own methodology where I've created identities for all of these different ages, versions, parts of myself that have existed in my core memory. If you've ever seen like Inside Out and these Pixar animated films that are just coming out so
Mm.
profoundly symbolic and
Yeah.
aware, right?
Yeah.
And actually being able to identify when I'm doing the it, who's spiraling? Is it that little 4-year-old girl that just wants to be liked and accepted? Is it the version of me that was told that I'm too much at some point in my life, you know, and like middle school when I just tried something out in the open and I was judged for it extremely. There's this
Mm.
intimacy building that I spend a lot of time on doing in my psyche alone, just my own like
Mm.
identities and belief systems and neural pathways alone that have been built, and learning to actually hear them and just get to know them, just understand them. And if I'm
Mm.
working with someone one on one, we start with like 3 personalities because to someone, these multiple personalities, these multiple identities that are existing could be triggering to even talk about or admit. And what held me back from even admitting that I do this has been out of fear of coming across as crazy or psychotic and like, oh, you have all these personalities up in here. And when I learned to actually realize and recognize that and acknowledge that they all exist, when that's happening, I know how to meet them and then nourish them in the way that they would like to be nourished. An example of that is the superficiality, right? That's one of my
Mhm.
my unconscious vocation in my gene keys, where it's easy for me to show superficiality, and it's something that I've experienced a lot in my life, where I'm just doing my thing, and someone's like, "Why are you smiling all the time?" You know, and not even realizing that I'm smiling, and I'm like, "Oh, am I?" You know, as a child
Oh.
performer, am I utilizing these tactics to make sure that I'm accepted, that I'm liked? When I'm able to
Mm.
recognize that and to actually meet her with some awareness, I see you. Like, I acknowledge that you're there. What do you need right now? Oh, she says, I just need to make the craziest facial expressions right now and break all of the societal masks on my face. Oh, and be witnessed in that breaking of my masks on my face, being witnessed by someone, by another, by the public, by whoever. When that happens, it's like I'm bringing that superficiality side, I'm bringing her with me. I'm like, come hop on, girl.
Mm.
Let's go ride. Let's go dance. Let's go express. So layer by layer by
Yes.
layer, it's gentleness, patience, one by one by one. When we notice those habitual patterns and thoughts and emotions and things that are trying to make themselves known in our mind, when we have that, someone's trying to speak to us. There's a version of ourselves that's not feeling loved, like you have said in Unravel. When we
Mm.
notice that resistance or that there's anything like this coming up, because there's that lack of love, that feeling that whatever unloved part of us just needs some attention, give them that
Yeah.
attention.
Mm. Mm, so juicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that you're sharing about your unique creative process. Because although Unravel has a method, it has a way that's also still developing. The main purpose of Unravel is to highlight your creative process, is to celebrate everyone's individual way of alchemization. And so I really loved hearing about, okay, here's what I do. There's something to when I experience that edge, the moment where there's like, oh, okay, let's come back to the airport. I'm about to do this thing, and I feel like, oh my God, I'm afraid. I've done enough work and kind of reprogramming in myself to now be hunting those experiences. Like I'm looking for the unloved. I'm hunting it. I'm the unloved hunter because it gives me awareness of where I am not conscious. Because wherever that unloved thing is happening, I'm acting it out in how I speak. I'm acting it out in how I relate with people. I'm acting it out in how I walk through the airport gate. That unloved part is causing me to do something, certain actions, to not look at people, to not connect with people, to look at people or connect with people. It's informing my actions. And so in order to be as liberated as possible to experience the most juiciest interactions with the world, I have to be able to really visit those unloved parts. And so part of even taking it outside in the first place, taking it to the airport in the first place and doing it in person is so that I can have that, and I can go, there you are. There you are. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay, now that I can feel that part and see that part, what does it want to sing? What does it want to move? What does it want to dance? And I don't move from it until it shifts. I don't move from it until it goes into another part of my vessel, not to another part of my body. And there's something about being the shadow hunters and what it means to go after it, what it means to go after. We're going after it because it's information. We're going after it because it's fuel. We're going after it because it's color. It's variety. It adds something to a painting that otherwise would not be there. Those colors would have never existed if I didn't experience that. Then I get to paint something that no one's ever seen before. So we're bringing things online that no one has ever seen before through our ability to risk going up against these edges.
And that aligns so profoundly with the gate of decrease. Hearing you say this.
Yes.
Like being the shadow hunter, actually being willing to dive into the depth of the decrease, to be in it, and to look for the gift through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's spot on. What for me is the only thing that harmonizes my mind, my thoughts, with my heart and my body is being able to be that shadow hunter, and what I call also like a shadow diver. You know, people who are professional skydivers for a living. Imagine imagine their relationship to fear. Some of us are like, we would never, but they do it all the time because they look for it. They look for that fear. They look for that adrenaline. They look for that shadow to hunt. And then at the perfect time, dive in.
Yeah. This is feeling like a good moment of transition, a good moment to close. Yeah. And it'll prepare us for part 2. It'll prepare us for what comes next. Let everyone know about what you do, what you got brewing, what's in the pathway for Luna that we could pay attention to.
Yeah, what's been lighting me up the most right now is the ways of the sacral chakra, which is very much what brought me to Unravel, to really learn how to alchemize the energy of my sacral. Being a manifesting generator, my sacral, my creativity, my sexuality, like my womb. This is the core of where my operating system is. And so I've been creating a lot of different offerings and resources around ways to just get in tune with the sacral, whether it be through creative expression and dancing with light whips. I'm holding a workshop called Live Your Light. It's a traveling workshop. I posted about it on Circle. And it's legitimately an invitation for people to dance in the dark with a string full of fiber optic lights and to just learn what it feels like to emanate your own unique code of movement in the body and to be witnessed through the light itself. And they look like these light dragons when you're dancing with them. And not one flow looks the same. It's not a technical flow tool like poi or fire spinning, and certain things are. So I'm bringing a project to Burning Man this year, and I just did a workshop in Austin and LA not too long ago. So I'm excited to be bringing that to more places globally, because what it stands for is learning how to shine your light in the dark and how to be the lighthouse in a darker reality. And every single one of us has a very specific light that when it is shined, we attract and we magnetically pull in that which is destined for us through opportunities, invitations, connections, people, missions, and just to empower people to be in their fullest expression as much as possible. There is nothing more important than that right now in my life. So I also have my website, Sacral Uproar, where I hold different types of creative mentorships for aspiring artists that are feeling blocked. And Unravel is such a core part of this work. And I'm really excited to see just how I continue weaving in community with you. And I'm being brought to others that are walking alongside in this mission of just bringing creative expression and unlocking the creative freedom. Because whether one identifies with an artist or not, I believe that we're all artists. I believe that we come into this world as artists, as creators. And however that wants to show up and manifest, let it be done so in the fullest of yes and expression and presence. So that's what's been lighting me up
Hear,
these
hear.
days. Yeah, and it's
Hear,
still
hear.
continuing to unfold.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it so much. Everybody, go to Sacral Uproar, see what Luna is doing, and
Thank you.
come see what we're doing inside of Unravel. Come play with us.
Yes, come play.
Yes, come play. And thank you, Luna. What a great conversation.
Thank you
It's great
so much,
to drop
Sri.
in with you and just chat.
Same,
Yeah.
same. It felt
One
like,
sound for closing.
okay.
Yeah.
Bello.